I'd like to start by sharing the following idea. There is the world that we live in, and there is how we perceive that world. There is a world that we live in, and there is a world that we react to what happens to us in that world. There's a very amazing story that I heard. This story actually appears in the Sefer, the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, by Stephen Covey, I believe is his name. So he speaks about this is a true story, about a battleship that is at sea on its way to perform an operation. Okay? It's in the middle of the night, traveling in the South Pacific, I don't know which ocean, and it sees off in the horizon another ship coming towards it. The captain of the ship is a major military aircraft carrier, armed with everything. It commands the ship that it sees off in the horizon, says, please, we are commanding you, we are the U.S. Navy ship, whatever, U.S. Navy, please turn 15 degrees north, or we are going to have a collision. A minute passes, they get word back. They say, negative, we are not moving, you move 15 degrees in the other direction, or we will have a collision. They continue on, the ship is just going full steam. It says, once again, I'm telling you, we are highly armed. You will force us to take action. If you do not move, we are commanding you, move your ship 15 degrees north to avoid a collision. We are prepared to take action against you. The ship responds, we are a lighthouse on dry land. We strongly suggest you move your ship 15 degrees to avoid a tremendous crash. Roger, got it, and they moved. There is the world that we live in, there's a way that we perceive that world. And that perception is what? It is based completely on us. How we perceive that. Franz Rosenzweig, who was, I think, a contemporary Jewish philosopher, alive during the time of the Nazi death camps. And he saw the most terrible things. He saw lives being torn apart, people being killed, being treated, what they did to the human body can't be mentioned. And he saw hope was just, people were hopeless. But he realized something. The Nazis can take away everything from us, but one thing, our freedom to choose. And he actually went around the death camps and he said, we can have hope. Things are not over. We are still alive. And he went around and he gave these Jews, these people, gave them inspiration. In this week's Parsha, after the Meraglim come back and give their terrible, terrible report of what life in Eretz Israel is going to be like, what life in Israel is going to be like, how do they finish their report? It's amazing. Very simple words. They say, B'nehi be'einenu kichagavim, and we are in our eyes like grasshoppers, little annoying insects. Be'ein ha'inu be'eineihem, and that's how we are in their eyes. You saw how they viewed themselves, and that reflected their whole report. They said, we can't do this. We're hopeless. Because what? The way they esteem themselves, the way they measure themselves, is they were like little chagavim, little annoying grasshoppers that the people that live in this land are going to devour. There's the world we live in, and there is the world, and there is the way that we perceive that world. I think this is a very, very powerful thing to internalize, because how many things do we assume that this is just the way it is, this is the way, this is the truth, whatever it is. The world is constantly brainwashing us as to what our reality is. But we all have to be the mature Jewish adults that we are, and to realize that that one thing, no matter what goes on in the world, we have one thing. It is that power to choose. And we can decide what is ultimately true, what is ultimately just there to distract us, what is there to brainwash us. The Torah tells us what our ultimate paradigms are. Meaning, what are the truths? What is the real reality of this world? And that's just something, again, to internalize that it is in our hands to make that choice. Thank you.